Hey, what's going on? My name's Tim Williams. We're going to break down today's silly little three-game MLB slate. There's a two-game slate a little bit later on. There's a three-game if you include the Red Sox game. So I'm just going to do all three games. It'll be quick. It'll be breezy. I haven't done a video in about a week. I returned to work full time, so I'm just trying to juggle, my day job with doing some of these videos. So I do promise you I'm going to find that balance and get new equipment and all of that. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. My name's Tim. What we do is we break down these MLB slates over on DraftKings. Today we have a very, very unusual one, but I really wanted to get a video out there, get back on there. So if you are new, make sure you subscribe. I'll have a link below in the description here. And let's just jump right into it. This first game is the Marlins taking on the Red Sox. Red Sox favorited here at home, 9.5 over under. It is hot as hell out in Boston right now. It's like 90 degrees plus, the humidity's crazy. Originally in this game, we had Pablo Lopez scheduled to start, had a bunch of notes on him. He is scratched today. I'm not really sure why. We have Thompson, who is called up at the minimum 4K. And then we have Dan Castano to follow. So that immediately just kind of catapults the Red Sox as like top offense, by far. Marlins bullpen has been okay, but we don't know how long Thompson's going to pitch. Castano is just terrible. And then on the Red Sox side, you have Pivetta, 8K, not bad, 26.6 strikeout percentage, a near 11% walk rate. So that's the one thing that really, worries me. He does get a lot of guys on base. The fly ball rate is up. It's a beautiful day to hit baseballs, 44.4% of the time. I don't think I'm going to get to either pitching in this particular game. Pivetta more effective against right-handed batters, but not that great numbers wise. So lefties I do like a lot here. Aguilar, if he's in the starting lineup, 4.3 K here, not a bad price with a lot of upside. 18% strikeout rate versus right-handed pitching this year, so that is pretty excellent. Marte, if he's there, there's some speed upside for him. Jazz Chisholm, I really like what he does leading off here. Alfaro at the catcher position. And then I threw an interesting one here because we don't have a lot of offense. So we really have to figure out a way to get creative because I think pretty much every team is going to be somewhat popular. But Diaz at 3K, if he makes the lineup, he's got a really good hard hit percentage, especially against right-handed pitchers. And then, he's taking his walks too, small sample size, but 13% walk rate. Pivetta gives up a lot of walks. So it's a nice, unique way to get different. And then on the other side, Red Sox, Verdugo, Devers, Bogarts, Martinez is sitting today. But this is by far one of the best environments for them right now, taking on a team who's just flew in. This is a makeup game. So Renfroe, Arroyo's leading off at 2.2K. So a lot of good value there. I expect the Red Sox to be somewhat popular in those three-game contests. Next here, this works. Yep. Next, we have the Royals taking on the Angels. 9 over under here. No favorite yet. Kowar taking on Bundy. Jackson Kowar, 6K, has been really impressive this year. This is his debut. Very impressive in AAA. Player of the month this past month over on the East. 6 games started. He has a beautiful ERA, 0.85. Love the splits here. 31.2 innings pitched, 41 strikeouts, 10 walks. Really excellent here. I don't mind this spot. When you look at the Angels lineup, Trout is out. The only two guys that really kind of scare me here, Rendon, Ohtani. Walsh, obviously a very good player. Upton's been on fire. But, it's those 4 guys. And then the rest of the lineup is just super weak. So there is some strikeout upside here for Kowar. And then you have Bundy on the other side, 7.1K. I expect him to be very popular as well. So we'll talk about the bats after, but I really like the Royal side on this one. But Bundy 7-1, not a bad price here. The one thing about the Royals is they don't strike out that much. So I don't see Bundy getting a ton of strikeouts here. 24% strikeout rate, which isn't that bad for that price. The walk rate is fine, just under 7%. He has been effective against right-handed batters, struggles more against lefties here. So really like the lefties first on the Royals. Benintendi, 3.6K, Santana, 4-1, Merrifield, put him in there, 5-2. He has that speed upside as well. Perez, really, I think just about everybody's in play here. Dozier, but again, just like the Diaz call in Miami, you got to find somebody else here on a 2-3 game slate. I don't mind Michael Taylor. Everyone's going to go to Soler, right? Because of the power upside. Taylor, 2.7K. So you're not really even paying that much for him. He has a 40.9 hard hit rate percentage, very comparable to Soler in that regard. So I think Taylor has a lot of power upside. He has some speed. He does have games where he gets you double-digit fantasy points. At that price, I think you can't go wrong. We got to find somewhere to get different. And then on the other side, Angels, it's the classic four. Rendon I like the most because of his price at 4K. And then it goes Ohtani, Walsh, Upton for sure. Other than that, I don't really like to get to anybody. We don't know what we're going to get out of this pitcher for the Royals. So, those bats definitely in play. I definitely lean more on the Royals side here. And then last but not least, really, Cubs, Padres, Alzolay taking on Weathers. Alzolay probably going to be the top pitcher on the slate. 8.8K. Very reasonable. There's a lot of strikeout upside here. 27% strikeout rate so far this year. He's getting a lot of ground balls at 46% of the time. And the fly ball rate is excellent, 33%. He's not really walking a ton of guys, 5% walk rate here. So he's probably by far the number one pitcher on this slate, at least for me, in my opinion, because there is that upside. It's going to be a tough matchup, though, against the Padres, but you got to take your chances somewhere. And then Weathers on the other side, big hard no for me. I don't know how far he's going to get into this game. 19% strikeout rate isn't great. Does walk guys here at times. 37% fly ball rate. Really struggles more against right-handed batters. So let's look at the Cubs lineup here. Right-handers I like the most. Bryant 5-1, probably going to be very popular. Patrick Wisdom has been on a tear. 3.6K, just way too cheap. He's going to be highly owned. You have to decide if, you're either going Wisdom and some of these Cubs, or you got to fade somebody. But I expect Wisdom to be very popular. Baez is really cheap here. Contreras might lead off. 4.1K is too cheap for him. And then, that wild card play. If this guy, Alcantara, shortstop, comes into play here, 2.6K, if you're going to stack the Cubs, it's your one way to get completely different by getting somebody in that bottom of the order. And then on the other side, the Padres, Machado, I'm kind of looking at here, 4.5K. I think that's really cheap, really way too cheap. The other guys, Cronenworth, Tatis, everybody, kind of in play here. I just like the upside more with Alzolay. We got to fade some kind of spot here in these tiny slates. So definitely like the Cubs bats here, Alzolay as well. So that'll do it. Thank you for watching. My name's Tim Williams. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, comment below. It feels good to be back and making some content here. So I promise to get a little bit more consistent as we get going here, but that is it. Thank you. Best of luck today. Take it easy.